Hey there, curious minds. Do you ever feel like the world is changing at warp speed? It's both overwhelming and incredibly exciting, right? We're living in a time where technology isn't just evolving, it's practically shape-shifting before our very eyes. I mean, opening up possibilities that were once pure science fiction. Today, we're taking a deep dive into what it truly means to be a tech entrepreneur in this dynamic, bold new age. We're going to unpack some profound insights from a really powerful source, Paramendra Kumar Bhagat's work, A Tech Incubator for Today. And this isn't just about, building a business. It's about understanding the entire ecosystem, from the lessons of the past to the promises of, well, a truly abundant future. Our mission for you today is to distill the most important nuggets of knowledge from this material, basically giving you a shortcut to being well informed.
Exactly. We want to help you grasp not just what is happening in the world of innovation, but maybe more importantly, why it matters for you. Whether you're prepping for a meeting, trying to catch up on a field, or you're just driven by that, insane curiosity to shape tomorrow. Get ready for some serious aha moments. We think this will really reframe how you see the whole entrepreneurial landscape.
Okay, let's set the stage. Let's maybe rewind a bit. Do you remember the energy when the internet first burst onto the scene back in the
Oh
1990s?
yeah, it was electric.
It felt like a total revolution, right? Transforming commerce, communication, letting young entrepreneurs dream of building global empires like from their garages.
Absolutely. Companies like Amazon, Google, Facebook,
Hmm.
they didn't just emerge, they completely rewrote the rules.
Totally. For how we buy things, find information,
They
connect.
really laid down the digital bedrock for, well, everything that came after.
It's true, that era was foundational. But what's really fascinating now, and this is key to the source material.
Is that 30 years later, we're not just talking about one groundbreaking technology anymore.
Right.
We're in an era of convergence. That's the word the source uses. And the real magic happens when multiple powerful technologies intersect and amplify each other.
Okay, convergence.
Yeah, it's no longer about a single revolution like the internet was. It's more like a symphony of transformations all happening at
A
once.
symphony. I like that. So, how is this different from, say, the internet's early days? What's the biggest impact?
Well, think about it. The internet gave us amazing tools for communication, for commerce. Huge impact. But these new advancements, these convergences, they're fundamentally redefining what it means to be human, what's possible for us. I mean, imagine AI accelerating breakthroughs in medicine, diagnosing diseases with accuracy we couldn't dream of before,
Right? Or blockchain.
or blockchain transforming global finance,
Hmm.
creating decentralized systems that change how we think about trust and security.
Yeah.
And then there are the incredible implications of gene editing, like CRISPR, potentially eradicating hereditary diseases.
Wow.
The source calls this a second renaissance of innovation. And it argues it could be even more transformative than the early internet,
More transformative. Why?
because these technologies are changing life itself. It's not just how we communicate or shop. It's fundamental. And this convergence has also um, dissolved many traditional barriers that once limited innovation.
Like what kind of barriers?
Things like access to information, capital, talent. These used to be huge hurdles, right?
Definitely. You needed connections, funding.
Yeah.
Location mattered hugely.
Exactly. Now, knowledge is globally distributed. Open source platforms everywhere. Crowdfunding and decentralized finance are opening totally new avenues for capital. You don't have to be in Silicon Valley.
That's a massive shift.
It is. And the democratization of education platforms like Coursera, Khan Academy, they're creating this vast, accessible global talent pool. It really makes this, as the source says, the most exciting time in history for entrepreneurs like you. The playing field is leveled in so many ways.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So, given this groundbreaking past, what wisdom can we really glean from those early internet days? What are the timeless lessons that still apply today? What should
Yeah,
we carry forward?
that's a great question. One of the most critical lessons, I think, is the power of timing.
Timing.
Yeah. It's not just about having a great idea, is it? It's about executing it when the market, the technology, the consumers, when they're truly ready.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think of Amazon. They thrived because they perfectly hit that wave of online shopping adoption. People were just getting comfortable with it. Contrast that with, say, Webvan. Remember them? Online groceries.
Vaguely, yeah. They didn't last long.
Right. Great idea, arguably,
Mm-hmm.
but the essential infrastructure, widespread high-speed internet, people who used to ordering online just wasn't quite there yet. So being too early can be just as fatal as being too late. It's about readiness.
Okay, timing is crucial. What else?
Another huge one is adaptability. You absolutely have to be able to evolve. Companies that failed to adapt often just faded away. Think about MySpace.
Oh, yeah. Dominant, then gone.
Exactly. They kind of stagnated while Facebook was constantly refining, changing, adding features. The ability to pivot, to change direction based on market feedback or new tech is vital. PayPal is a great example. Did you know they started as a cryptography company?
No, really.
Yeah. Then they shifted to a digital wallet model and eventually became the global payment giant we know. The most successful entrepreneurs weren't just visionaries, they anticipated where the world was heading and adjusted.
That adaptability point really stands out. Beyond timing and adaptability, what other key lessons?
They also taught us about scaling with precision. Digital businesses have this incredible scalability, right? Little additional cost per user.
Yeah, the marginal cost is tiny for software.
Exactly. Think Google, Facebook serving billions without expenses growing proportionally. However, many dot-com startups failed by trying to scale too quickly. Remember Pets.com?
The sock puppet. Yeah, they burn through cash.
They spent massively on marketing and infrastructure before having a sustainable business model. Growth has to be strategic. Your systems, your processes, your team, they all need to be able to handle the increased demand. You can't just throw money at scale.
Got it. Strategic scaling. What about leadership?
Oh, absolutely. Visionary leadership is paramount.
Okay.
It's more than just a big idea, though. It's the ability to rally people, investors, employees, customers around that idea, to communicate a compelling vision that resonates. Think Bezos, Jobs, Musk. They demonstrate incredible resilience, pushing through huge challenges.
Vision alone isn't enough, right?
Exactly. The source makes this point very clearly. Vision without meticulous planning and execution is a recipe for failure. The best leaders balance that bold, forward thinking with very disciplined, detailed execution.
That makes sense. Any final lessons from that era?
Yeah, two more big ones, I think. First, learning from failures. The dot-com bubble bursting was brutal. But from those ashes, enduring companies like Amazon and Google emerged even stronger. They focused on fundamentals, avoided the hype. Failure isn't the end. It's a chance to learn, refine, and grow stronger. That resilience is key.
10 the second.
The power of collaboration. Many successful innovations weren't solo acts, they were partnerships. Think Apple's App Store. They didn't build all the apps. They created an ecosystem for thousands of developers. That fueled the iPhone success.
Right, the platform idea.
Exactly. And the open source movement, sharing knowledge, that drove so much innovation. Success often requires working with others, leveraging collective intelligence. So for you listening, these aren't just historical footnotes. They're powerful guideposts for whatever you're planning. The internet taught us to think big. This next wave, this convergence, it demands we think even bigger, tackling problems we once thought unsolvable.
So bringing us back to today then, this idea of convergence sounds incredibly powerful. Can you break down exactly what that means for the tech landscape now?
Absolutely. Convergence is essentially the point where two or more distinct technologies intersect, and they create something far greater, more powerful than the sum of their individual parts.
Okay, so it's about the interaction.
Precisely. It's no longer enough to just look at AI in isolation or blockchain or biotech. The future really lies in their integration. Imagine AI meeting robotics to create highly autonomous machines capable of complex tasks with incredible precision. Or blockchain underpinning entirely new, decentralized financial systems. We're seeing that already with DeFi.
Right.
This era is marked by a new level of complexity, yes, but also deep interconnectedness and just vast opportunity. Though it also poses challenges, right? Predicting unintended consequences becomes much harder.
That makes sense. It's not just one thing changing, it's everything interacting. So which technologies are the biggest players driving this convergence?
Well, while many contribute, the source highlights a few key categories that are central. First, you've got what I'd call the digital accelerators. This is primarily artificial intelligence and, looking ahead, quantum computing. AI is truly at the heart of it. Its ability to analyze massive data sets, see patterns, make predictions, it accelerates advances everywhere.
It's like a booster for other tech.
Exactly. It amplifies the impact of others. AI plus robotics gives you smarter factories. AI plus biotech gives you faster drug discovery. And then quantum computing, while still emerging, promises to redefine computation entirely, solving problems exponentially faster than today's computers. That combination, AI and quantum, could be revolutionary for fields like materials, science, finance, logistics, modeling things at scales we can't currently manage.
Okay, accelerators. What else?
Then you have the foundational layers. Think blockchain and the Internet of Things, or IoT. Blockchain's decentralized, transparent, secure nature complements so many other technologies. Beyond crypto, it's ensuring traceability in supply chains. And when you combine blockchain with IoT, billions of connected devices generating data, you can secure that data, ensure its integrity. Think smart cities, autonomous systems. Blockchain provides the trust layer.
Got it. And the third category?
I'd call these the life-altering innovations, things like biotechnology and robotics and automation. Biotechnology, CRISPR gene editing, synthetic biology is transforming medicine, agriculture, even material science, converging with AI. That's supercharging drug discovery. Similarly, robotics and automation aren't just factory arms anymore. Robots are performing surgery, delivering goods, exploring planets. Add AI and they become autonomous, capable of incredibly complex tasks.
So it's like these technologies are interlocking gears, creating new possibilities where they mesh.
That's a great analogy, interlocking gears.
What stands out to you about how these complex convergences are actually playing out, like in the real world right now? Where do we see the impact?
Oh, the impact is definitely not just theoretical. It's profoundly transforming industries already. Take healthcare, AI, biotech, wearables. They're all converging to drive personalized medicine. Think AI analyzing your genetic data to recommend specific preventative measures or tailoring treatments just for you.
Or robotic surgery.
Exactly. Systems like Intuitive Surgical's Da Vinci combine robotics with AI for incredible precision, shorter recovery times. That's convergence in action. In finance, blockchain and AI are totally reshaping things. DeFi platforms use blockchain for peer-to-peer lending, trading, bypassing traditional banks. Meanwhile, AI algorithms are getting incredibly good at fraud detection, optimizing investment strategies.
What about something like energy?
Huge impact there, too. Renewable energy, tech, solar, wind, batteries is converging with AI and IoT to create smart grids. These grids can dynamically optimize energy distribution, predict demand, integrate storage, making the whole system way more efficient and reducing waste. Companies like Tesla are a prime example, integrating solar panels, battery storage, and electric vehicles into this seamless ecosystem.
And transportation is obvious, I guess.
Yeah, autonomous vehicles are maybe the most visible example. Tesla, Waymo. They're combining AI for decision-making, IoT for sensor data, robotics for control, often with renewable energy for propulsion. It's a perfect storm of convergence, creating self-driving electric cars designed to be safer, more efficient.
So for an entrepreneur listening right now, what's the key takeaway from this convergence idea?
The key takeaway is opportunity, huge opportunity. But it requires a mindset shift. You need to look for those powerful intersections between technologies, not just within one field. Think holistically. How can AI enhance this biotech process? How can blockchains secure this IoT network? And critically, it means building diverse interdisciplinary teams. You need expertise across multiple domains to tackle these complex, convergent problems. The ultimate goal, as the source really emphasizes, isn't just innovation for innovation's sake. It's about using our collective knowledge, these powerful converging tools, to build a better, smarter, more sustainable world for everyone.
This sounds like the absolute perfect storm for innovation. So why exactly is now the most exciting time to be an entrepreneur? What makes this moment unique?
It truly is an unprecedented moment. I mean, entrepreneurs today find themselves in this unique position. They have an abundance of tools, knowledge, resources right at their fingertips, things that big corporations struggled to access just decades ago. This allows them to dream bigger, sure, but also to act faster than at any other time in history.
Faster hap.
Just the sheer velocity of technological progress, combined with global connectivity. It opens possibilities unimaginable even 10 years ago. Prototyping is faster, reaching markets is faster, getting feedback is faster, and the impact is deeper too. Innovations aren't just changing industries. They're fundamentally reshaping how we live, how we interact. Think about AI enhancing accessibility for people with disabilities. That's creating more inclusive society.
It's a great point. It's not just business.
Not at all. And we're seeing this powerful blend of global markets with local solutions. The internet lets you build globally from day one, right? But often, the most impactful innovations start by solving a specific local problem first, like renewable energy startups in Africa, creating solar solutions tailored to local needs, which then scale globally.
And you mentioned location isn't the barrier it used to be.
Exactly. Innovation is becoming increasingly decentralized. Talent, resources, they're not just in Silicon Valley anymore. Thanks to remote work, global collaboration tools, crowdfunding. Entrepreneurs from anywhere can build transformative companies.
And the problems themselves are opportunities.
Absolutely. This is maybe the biggest point. The big, bad problems facing humanity. Climate change, food security, healthcare access, inequality. They're daunting, yes, but they also represent the greatest opportunities for truly impactful ventures. The world is urgently seeking scalable solutions to these massive challenges.
Okay, that's huge. Let's talk about those tools you mentioned. What exactly are these tools that are democratizing innovation, making it accessible beyond just giant corporations?
Right. What used to be exclusive is now available to you, the individual entrepreneur or small team.
Right.
First off, cloud computing and AI. Cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. They give startups access to massive computing power without needing to build expensive data centers.
Pay-as-you-go computing power.
Exactly. And combine that with accessible AI tools and platforms. Entrepreneurs can now analyze huge data sets, automate complex processes, develop innovative AI-powered products far more efficiently than ever before.
What else?
Open source and low-code, no-code platforms. These have dramatically lowered the barrier to entry for actually building technology. Open source software gives you free, customizable building blocks. Low-code platforms let you prototype and deploy sophisticated applications really quickly, often with minimal traditional coding.
So you can focus more on the idea, less on the plumbing.
Precisely. It lets founders focus energy on the core innovation, the problem they're solving. Then there's global connectivity. Obvious, but crucial. The internet, mobile tech, communication tools like Zoom, Slack, GitHub, they enable seamless remote collaboration. You can build and manage a truly international team from anywhere.
And getting funding has changed too.
Hugely. Access to capital have been revolutionized. Crowdfunding platforms like Kickstarter or Indiegogo let you raise money directly from potential customers, often validating your idea in the process. Peer-to-peer lending, and especially decentralized finance, DeFi, are opening entirely new avenues, particularly in markets underserved by traditional banks.
And finally, learning the skills you need.
Yeah, education and skill development. Online platforms like Coursera, EDX, Udemy, even YouTube, they democratize access to high-quality education. Entrepreneurs can learn new skills, technical or business, at their own pace, affordably.
So the tech landscape provides incredible leverage. But tools aren't everything. What kind of mindset do you need to thrive in this bold new era?
That's the crux of it, isn't it? While the tools are vital, the defining factor for success really comes down to mindset. The challenges and opportunities today require entrepreneurs to think differently, act boldly, and adapt constantly. A key aspect the source highlights is think big, start small.
What does that mean in practice?
It means having that audacious vision, reshaping an industry, solving a global challenge, but also understanding the need to test ideas pragmatically, gather feedback quickly, and iterate rapidly. Elon Musk wants to colonize Mars, right? Huge vision. But SpaceX didn't start by building a Mars base. They started with small-scale rocket prototypes, learning and iterating.
Okay, big vision, small steps. What else?
Resilience in the face of failure. This is non-negotiable. Innovation is messy, things go wrong. Entrepreneurs have to embrace failure not as the end, but as an integral, invaluable part of the learning process. Think Airbnb or Slack. Both face significant early struggles, near-death moments even. They succeeded because they adapted, learned, and kept going.
And collaboration.
Yes, collaboration over competition. In a world where resources like knowledge and tools are becoming more abundant, collaboration often yields better results than cutthroat competition. Entrepreneurs who build partnerships, leverage ecosystems, share knowledge openly, they're often better positioned for long-term success.
That feels like a shift from older models.
It is.
Yeah.
And alongside that, ethics and responsibility. Boldness must be tempered with responsibility. Entrepreneurs today have a profound duty to consider the ethical implications of their work from the start. Addressing potential bias in AI, ensuring sustainability, thinking about societal impact. This isn't just nice to have, it builds trust and creates lasting value. Responsible innovation avoids future pitfalls.
And fine.
Adaptability and agility. We talked about this before, but bears repeating. The pace of change is just relentless. Successful entrepreneurs are constantly scanning the horizon, anticipating trends, experimenting with new approaches, and staying incredibly flexible. So for you listening, this bold new era, it's really just beginning. The future belongs to those willing to take calculated risks, embrace uncertainty, and push the boundaries. It's about shaping the world, not just building a business.
Okay, this global aspect is fascinating. You said location isn't the barrier it once was. How has geography become almost irrelevant for innovators? That feels like a huge shift.
It really is. The internet and all these digital tools we've discussed have fundamentally shattered the geographical barriers that used to confine innovation to, a few specific regions like Silicon Valley. They're genuinely in an era where entrepreneurship is borderless. Talent, ideas, capital, customers, they can emerge from anywhere and impact everywhere.
Can you paint a picture of that?
Sure. Imagine an entrepreneur sitting in Nairobi. They can design a sophisticated software product targeting customers, primarily in New York or London. They can collaborate seamlessly with developers in Berlin or Bangalore using tools like Slack and GitHub.
Right. Distance doesn't stop the work.
Exactly. This global connectivity has dramatically lowered the barriers to entry. It enables innovators from literally all corners of the world to participate in and contribute to the global economy, often on a much more equal footing than before.
What are the specific trends really driving this borderless innovation?
Several key things are converging here. First, as we mentioned, access to digital tools. Platforms like Shopify for e-commerce, Stripe for payments, Zoom for communication, cloud services. They make it feasible to build, run, and scale a global business from almost anywhere. Second, global capital flow has changed dramatically. Venture capital isn't just flowing into California anymore. Investors are actively seeking opportunities in emerging markets in Asia, Africa, Latin America. Plus, crowdfunding and DeFi provide alternative rights to funding globally.
And remote work.
That's the third huge driver. The remote work revolution. Accelerated massively by the pandemic, it proved that businesses can operate effectively, even innovate with distributed teams. This allows companies to tap into diverse talent pools worldwide, not just hire locally. And fourth, the explosion of e-commerce itself. Platforms like Amazon, Etsy, Alibaba have created global marketplaces accessible to sellers anywhere.
So this global landscape offers massive opportunities. What are the main ones entrepreneurs should be aware of?
The opportunities are immense. First, access to diverse talent pools. You're no longer limited to hiring people who live within commuting distance. You can find the best talent for the job wherever they are. This diversity thought leads to more innovative solutions. Second, the chance to solve universal problems. Many big challenges, climate, health, education, are global. Solutions developed anywhere can potentially have worldwide impact and reach huge markets. Think renewable energy tech scaling across continents.
And emerging markets.
Exactly. Tapping into emerging markets like India, Brazil, Nigeria, Indonesia. These regions often have surging internet adoption, growing middle classes, and unique local problems that present huge, untapped opportunities for innovation. Plus, you can leverage global platforms. Tools like Upwork for freelancers, AWS for infrastructure, Stripe for payments. They make it easier than ever to build, fund, and scale globally.
Okay, the upside is clear. But it can't be that easy. What are the big hurdles, the challenges of operating on a global scale?
No, it's definitely not easy. The challenges of global entrepreneurship are significant. First, navigating complex regulatory environments. Every country has unique laws for business operations, taxes, data privacy, labor. Compliance can be incredibly complex, time-consuming, and expensive.
Bureaucracy multiplied.
Pretty much. Second, cultural sensitivity is absolutely critical. What works in one market, a product, feature, a marketing campaign might completely fail or even offend in another. You have to invest in understanding local nuances. Third, logistical complexity. Managing global supply chains, international shipping, distribution, customer support across time zones. It can be a major operational challenge, especially in regions with less developed infrastructure.
And payments?
Yeah, currency and payment challenges, dealing with multiple currencies, exchange rates, local banking regulations, different payment preferences. It adds another layer of complexity. And finally, intense global competition. You're not just competing with local players anymore. You're competing with established international companies too. Differentiation is key.
So, given those challenges, what strategies are crucial for success in this global arena?
You need a specific approach. First, adopt a global mindset right from the beginning. Think about international markets early on. Second, leverage technology aggressively, not just for product, but for communication, collaboration, operations. Third, build cross-cultural teams. Diverse perspectives are invaluable for understanding global markets. Fourth, critically, focus on localization. Think global, act local. Adapt your product, marketing, and support for specific cultural contexts. Don't just translate, truly localize.
Partnering helps.
Absolutely. Partner strategically with local companies or distributors who understand the market. And finally, stay agile. Be ready to adapt quickly to new regulations, changing market conditions, or unexpected cultural feedback. We see companies nailing this. Shopify started in Canada, now powers global e-commerce. Paystack from Nigeria revolutionized African payments, now expanding. ByteDance, TikTok, uses AI with highly localized, culturally relevant content. Grab in Southeast Asia built a super app tailored to diverse local needs. The future of entrepreneurship is undoubtedly global. For you listening, the question isn't whether you can participate, but how you'll navigate it. The tools are there, the opportunities are vast.
Okay, let's shift focus slightly. Given this global stage and these powerful tools, what does this all mean for what problems entrepreneurs should tackle? Are we just looking for the next cool app or something bigger?
That's exactly the right question. The source argues strongly that this era presents us with a new class of big bad problems. Think climate change, global health crises like pandemics, food security for billions, systemic inequality. These are challenges on a scale we haven't faced quite like this before.
Daunting is an understatement.
Absolutely. They are daunting in their sheer scope, their complexity, their urgency. But, and this is the crucial insight, these massive problems also represent the most extraordinary opportunities for innovation. They offer the chance for entrepreneurs to create truly profound, meaningful impact, far beyond just financial returns.
What defines these big bad problems? What makes them different?
They typically share a few characteristics. They're often deeply complex, right? Involving multiple interconnected systems, diverse stakeholders. Climate change isn't just an energy problem. It's agriculture, transport, industry, policy. They're also global in scale. They affect millions, often billions, across continents. COVID-19 showed us that vividly a local crisis quickly becomes a global one, and they usually demand immediate attention. There's a real urgency. Delaying action often makes the problem worse, sometimes irreversibly so.
So they're huge, complex, urgent. Why on earth would an entrepreneur choose to tackle something like that? It sounds incredibly difficult and risky.
It is difficult and risky, no doubt. But the rewards, both tangible and intangible, are potentially enormous. First, the chance for meaningful impact on a massive scale. Think about companies developing affordable renewable energy. They're not just businesses, they're actively driving global sustainability. That's powerful motivation. Second, these problems represent vast, untapped market opportunities. Because the need is so great, consumers, governments, entire industries are desperately seeking solutions. If you can crack it, the market can be huge.
So need creates demand.
Exactly. Third, solving such complex problems creates a significant competitive edge. These solutions are inherently difficult to develop and replicate, giving innovators a strong moat. And finally, purpose-driven companies tackling these big problems naturally attract top talent and aligned investors. People want to work on things that matter. Mission becomes a magnet for resources.
Okay, so the why is compelling, but how? How do you approach solving something so massive? Are there frameworks?
Successfully addressing these challenges demands more than just ambition. It needs a systematic approach and a specific mindset. Framework-wise, the source suggests a few key steps. First, define the problem clearly. Really understand the root causes, the system dynamics, the stakeholders involved. Don't just treat symptoms. Second, focus on scalable solutions. From the outset, design products, services, or models that can grow rapidly and reach large populations without proportional increases in costs or resources. Think modular tech, digital platforms.
Tech helps with scale.
Immensely.
Yeah.
Which leads to the third point. Leverage technology, AI, blockchain, biotech, IoT. These tools can unlock solutions that were simply impossible before. AI predicting disease outbreaks, blockchain for transparent supply chains. Fourth, collaborate across sectors. Big problems rarely get solved by one company alone. Build partnerships with governments, NGOs, universities, even competitors. Think Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, a huge public-private partnership. And fifth, measure impact rigorously. Go beyond just profit. Track clear social and environmental outcomes to prove your model works and attract further support.
And what about the mindset required for this?
The mindset is just as crucial. You absolutely must think long-term. These problems aren't solved in a quarter or a year. It requires patience, persistence. Think Tesla's decades-long journey. You have to embrace failure as a learning tool. Tackling the unknown means setbacks are inevitable. View them as data points, opportunities to learn and iterate. SpaceX didn't get rockets right on the first try.
Resilience again.
Always. And you need to stay mission-driven. Purpose is your anchor in stormy seas. It keeps the team motivated when things get tough. Patagonia's unwavering environmental commitment is a great example. Fostering collaboration and inclusivity within your team and externally is key. Diverse perspectives lead to better solutions. And finally, adapt to change. The landscape evolves constantly. Stay flexible. We see amazing companies doing this. Beyond Meat tackling climate and food security, Zipdyne using drones for medical delivery, CureVac with mRNA vaccines, Gravity Water providing clean drinking tech. This really isn't just about building the next unicorn company. It's about driving systemic change. The world needs bold thinkers and doers to step up. The question isn't if these problems can be solved, but who will solve them.
Okay, let's talk about the support systems. Where do these bold entrepreneurs get help? How have the places that foster innovation, the tech incubators and accelerators changed to meet this new reality?
That's a really important piece of the puzzle. The role of a tech incubator has evolved dramatically. What worked 20 years ago or even 10 years ago isn't necessarily sufficient today. The traditional model, often the physical space in a specific city, offering basic mentorship and some seed funding, was designed for a different era.
How so?
Well, as we've discussed, entrepreneurship is now global. Founders aren't tied to one location. Technology itself is far more complex, often involving deep science or multiple intersecting fields like AI and biotech. The pace is faster, and founders are often more mission-driven. So the old geographically focused generalist incubator model needs an upgrade to serve today's entrepreneurs effectively.
So if they've evolved, what are the core principles of a modern tech incubator? What should they be built on?
To succeed in this new landscape, a modern incubator needs to embody several core principles. First, global accessibility. They need to operate beyond borders, using digital platforms to reach and support entrepreneurs anywhere. Second, diversity and inclusion must be central, actively seeking out and supporting founders from underrepresented backgrounds and regions. Innovation thrives on diverse perspectives. Third, a strong focus on scalability, helping startups design business models that can realistically achieve global reach and impact. Fourth, fostering interdisciplinary collaboration, recognizing that breakthroughs often happen at the intersection of different fields. And fifth, an emphasis on sustainability and impact, aligning with purpose-driven founders and encouraging solutions that are environmentally and socially responsible.
Okay, those are the principles. What are the actual components? What should a modern incubator offer?
The offerings need to reflect those principles. Key components include a robust digital infrastructure platforms for virtual learning, mentoring, networking, knowledge sharing, essential for global reach. Truly global networks, curated connections to mentors, investors, industry experts, potential partners across different regions, not just local contacts. Sector-specific expertise. Given the complexity of tech today, incubators often need deep expertise in particular verticals: AI, biotech, climate tech, fintech, etc. General advice isn't always enough.
Specialization makes sense.
Definitely. Also, comprehensive funding and capital access. This goes beyond just a small seed check. It means helping startups navigate the complex global funding landscape, connecting them to diverse capital sources, VCs, angels, impact investors, grants, tailored mentorship, and coaching. Generic advice doesn't cut it. Programs need to be customized to the specific needs, stage, and industry of each startup. And finally, fostering a strong sense of community and peer learning. Connecting founders with each other, both online and offline, creates invaluable support and shared learning.
So how do incubators actually achieve this? What are the strategies for success?
Building an effective modern incubator requires strategic planning. One key strategy is to identify a clear mission. Are you focusing on a specific industry, like Greentown Labs with climate tech, or a specific region, or a specific stage? Clarity guides decisions. Another is to leverage technology extensively. Digital platforms expand reach and efficiency. Look at Y Combinator's online startup school. It democratizes access to their methodology globally. Many are creating hybrid models, combining the benefits of physical hubs for deep connection with virtual programming for global reach and flexibility. Station F in Paris is a massive physical campus, but has strong digital elements.
Partnerships seem important too.
Crucial. Build strategic partnerships with universities for research and talent, corporations for market access and pilot projects, government agencies for funding and policy support. MIT's Startup Exchange connects startups with corporations effectively. And finally, focus on measurable outcomes. Define success metrics beyond just valuations or funding raised. Track things like jobs created, impact metrics achieved, diversity improvements. This ensures accountability and attracts stakeholders. 500 startups, now 500 global, publishes detailed reports.
Are there challenges in building these modern incubators?
Of course. Allocating resources across diverse global regions is tough. Balancing inclusivity with maintaining a specific focus can be tricky. Navigating complex global regulations is a headache, and just keeping up with the rapid pace of technological change is a constant challenge. But we see successful models evolving. Y Combinator adapted with remote programs. Greentown Labs thrives on specialization. Mass Challenge uses a global zero equity model. Plug and Play excels at corporate connections. For you, the entrepreneur, the key takeaway is that the modern tech incubator is much more than just a space or some seed money. It's designed to be a dynamic, global ecosystem. It provides not just resources, but specialized guidance, critical connections, inspiration, and a community tailored to help you navigate this bold new era and build something truly impactful.
Okay, this is where it gets really practical. Every great innovation starts as that spark, that vision. But how do you actually turn that vision into something real? How do you navigate that tough journey from idea to execution to a thriving venture?
That journey is the heart of entrepreneurship, isn't it? Turning vision into reality requires this potent mix of strategic planning, absolute resilience in execution, and just a relentless drive. First, you need that clear vision. It acts as your North Star, your guiding light. It provides direction for every decision and inspiration for you and your team, especially when things get tough.
What makes a vision compelling?
A powerful vision is both ambitious and grounded. It articulates a bold, maybe even audacious goal, but one that feels ultimately achievable with the right strategy and team. Think big, but be credible. It also needs to align with a clear purpose. Why does this need to exist? What problem are you solving? Driving both profit and meaningful impact is key in this era. Patagonia's environmental vision is a classic example. And critically, it must be communicated effectively. You need to articulate it in a way that genuinely inspires investors, attracts talent, and resonates with customers.
And you can't do it alone.
Absolutely not. No entrepreneur brings a significant vision to life solo. Success hinges on building and scaling the right team. Initially, focus on assembling a small, versatile core team with diverse, complementary skills, maybe a technical expert, a business strategist, a design thinker. Foster is a collaborative culture built on trust, transparency, and that shared purpose.
And as you grow,
As you scale, strategic hiring is crucial. You need to bring in individuals who not only possess needed expertise, but who also genuinely align with the company's culture and values. You're protecting and evolving the culture as you grow. Google's early hires famously bought into the mission of organizing the world's information. That shared belief was powerful.
okay, vision and team in place. Then comes the hard part. Execution. What are the key steps there?
Execution is where the rubber meets the road, turning ideas into tangible products or services. A fundamental starting point is the minimum viable product, MVP. Build the simplest version of your product that solves the core problem. This lets you test your core hypothesis with minimal resources and get crucial early feedback.
Like the Dropbox example.
It's exactly. They started with just a simple explainer video to gauge interest before building the whole complex infrastructure. Genius MVP. Then, you must embrace iteration based on feedback. Use that early customer feedback relentlessly to refine your MVP, add features that matter, and pivot if necessary. It's a continuous loop. Build, measure, learn. And you need a clear go-to-market strategy. How will you actually reach your target audience? What channels? What messaging? How will you acquire your first customers?
And inevitably, challenges arise. Funding is often a big one.
Always. Securing funding is a major hurdle. Explore all options. Bootstrapping, funding it yourself, friends and family, angel investors, venture capital, crowdfunding, grants. Be resourceful. Remember the Airbnb founders selling cereal boxes?
Yeah, incredible hustle. What about uncertainty?
You have to get comfortable managing uncertainty. The path is never linear. Be ready for ambiguity, unexpected obstacles, and be willing to pivot your strategy or even your whole business model if the data tells you to. Slack pivoting from a failed game is the classic example, and you need to build credibility, especially early on. Showcase expertise, deliver consistently, build strong partnerships, get testimonials, earn trust.
And then comes scaling if you get traction.
Right. Scaling the vision is a critical and often dangerous phase. You need to plan carefully. This involves expanding your customer base strategically into new markets or segments. It means streamlining operations, putting systems and processes in place so you can handle growth efficiently without breaking. Automation, optimizing supply chains. It requires strengthening the brand with a consistent message and exceptional customer experiences. Think Apple's focus on brand and experience, and crucially, maintain focus. As you grow, opportunities multiply, but so do distractions. Stay true to your core vision and avoid mission drift.
What about leaning on others? Partnerships.
Hugely important. Leverage partnerships and networks. Strategic alliances can amplify your efforts, provide access to new markets or resources. Partnering with established brands can lend credibility, participate in industry networks, attend events, build relationships, and build community support around your brand. Engaged users can become powerful advocates, like the Tesla community.
And how do you know if it's working?
Measure success and iterate. Constantly track progress using clear, key performance indicators, KPIs, relevant to your goals. Gather customer feedback systematically. And crucially, learn from failures. Don't sweep mistakes under the rug. Analyze them objectively. What went wrong? Why? What can we change? Every failure is a data point for growth. Netflix learned from its DVD by mail struggles and pivoted brilliantly to streaming.
And leadership remains key throughout.
Absolutely. The role of visionary leadership is constant. Inspiring the team, making bold decisions under pressure, navigating uncertainty, communicating the vision clearly and consistently. Steve Jobs was a master at this. Leaders foster the environment where creativity and calculated risk-taking can thrive. We see these journeys in companies like Airbnb, Tesla, SpaceX, overcoming immense technical, financial, and market challenges through clear vision, strong teams, relentless execution, and adaptability. It's not an easy path, for sure. But for those willing to take it, the rewards building something lasting, solving real problems, creating value are immeasurable.
Let's talk about this concept of abundance. What does this really mean for scarcity, which has defined so much of human history? Are we genuinely moving past limitations in fundamental resources?
That's a profound and frankly optimistic perspective presented in the source material. The idea is that humanity might be on the verge of an extraordinary transformation. For arguably the first time, technology has the potential to genuinely solve, or at least dramatically alleviate, the core problems of scarcity that have shaped our societies for millennia.
Scarcity of what, specifically?
Think about fundamental resources. Energy. Renewable sources like solar and wind are becoming cheaper and more efficient, combined with better storage, potentially leading to near-limitless clean energy, democratizing access. Food. Innovations like precision agriculture using sensors and AI, vertical farming in cities, advanced hydroponics, even lab-grown meats. These could dramatically increase food production yields while reducing the huge environmental footprint of traditional agriculture.
Healthcare and education, too.
Yes,
Healthcare.
AI for diagnostics, drug discovery, personalized medicine via genomics, telemedicine reaching remote areas, making high-quality healthcare potentially more accessible and affordable. And education. Online platforms, AI tutors, virtual reality training, breaking down geographical and economic barriers to knowledge and skill development globally. The core idea of abundance isn't just more stuff. It's about creating systems enabled by technology that can deliver more value, more resources, more opportunities to more people, overcoming traditional limitations of geography, class, or circumstance. It's about scaling solutions globally.
That's a powerful vision. So how can entrepreneurs actually become the architects of this abundance? What's their role?
Entrepreneurs are uniquely positioned here. Their role shifts from just optimizing within existing scarce systems to actively innovating beyond scarcity. This means creating entirely new solutions or alternatives that make old, resource-intensive models obsolete. Think Tesla aiming to make fossil fuels irrelevant, not just building a slightly more efficient gas car. They also need to focus on scaling impact globally, leveraging technology to design business models that can reach billions efficiently. Google's mission to organize the world information is an example of thinking at abundance scale. And critically, they must consciously address inequality. Abundance is meaningless if it only benefits a few. Entrepreneurs need to design solutions that are accessible and beneficial for everyone, especially underserved communities. Zipline delivering medical supplies to remote areas is a great example.
What are the key tools entrepreneurs can use to build this abundant future?
The source highlights several enabling technologies as the tools of abundance. AI is the cornerstone for optimization, personalization, prediction, automation across all sectors. Blockchain offers transparency, security, and decentralization, crucial for building trust in new systems, like supply chains or decentralized finance. 3D printing, or additive manufacturing, is transforming production, enabling localized, customized manufacturing, reducing waste, shortening supply chains. The Internet of Things, IoT, connecting billions of devices, provides the data needed for smarter, more responsive systems in energy, cities, healthcare. And biotechnology continues to open new frontiers in medicine, agriculture, and material science.
And what kind of mindset is needed to wield these tools effectively towards abundance?
The mindset is crucial. First, abundance thinking itself moving beyond a zero-sum scarcity mindset, believing that technology can create more opportunity for everyone. Open-source platforms like Linux embody this. Second, mission-driven innovation. Focusing on solving fundamental human needs and global challenges provides the necessary drive and attracts resources. Impossible Foods' environmental mission is central to their identity. Third, adaptability, as always. The path to abundance involves navigating uncharted territory, requiring flexibility and a willingness to pivot. And fourth, collaboration. Building an abundant future requires working together across disciplines, industries, and borders. The Human Genome Project was a massive collaborative effort.
Are there significant challenges or risks in pursuing this age of abundance?
Definitely. It's not a utopia around the corner. There are huge challenges. Access versus distribution is a big one. How do we ensure these abundant solutions actually reach the people who need them most? Ethical concerns loom large privacy issues with data, fairness and bias, and AI algorithms, the implications of gene editing. Sustainability paradoxically remains a challenge. Things like e-waste from all these devices, the energy consumption of data centers, and navigating regulation existing laws often struggle to keep pace with technologies like AI, blockchain, or biotech. Uber's regulatory battles are a case study. But despite the challenges, companies like SolarCity, Tesla Energy, Coursera, Zipline, Beyond Meat show it's possible to build successful businesses focused on creating abundance in energy, education, healthcare access, and food.
Okay, let's talk capital again. How has the actual funding landscape, the money side of entrepreneurship, evolved to support this new era, maybe this push towards abundance?
The capital landscape has shifted dramatically. It's much more diverse and, in many ways, more democratic than it used to be, although challenges remain. Traditional models relying heavily on geographically concentrated venture capital, VC, and angel investors often had limitations. Access could be restricted based on who you knew or where you were located, and systemic biases were, and still are, a significant issue.
So what's new? What are the alternatives now?
We're seeing the rise and maturation of several alternative models alongside traditional VC. Crowdfunding is huge. Platforms like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, they allow entrepreneurs to bypass traditional gatekeepers and raise funds directly from the public, often validating market demand simultaneously. Oculus VR raising $2.4 million on Kickstarter was a seminal moment. Decentralized finance, DeFi, using blockchain, is opening up entirely new possibilities. Token sales, ICOs, IDOs, decentralized lending protocols, yield farming, offering access to global capital pools, though it's still a volatile space. Ethereum's initial coin offering was a precursor to this. Equity crowdfunding platforms, like Seed Invest or Republic, allow everyday investors to buy actual shares in private startups, further democratizing early-stage investment.
What about bigger players getting involved?
Yes, corporate venture capital, CVC, arms of large companies are increasingly active. Google Ventures, GV, Salesforce Ventures, Intel Capital. They invest strategically in startups, often providing market access and expertise alongside cash. Impact investing is a major growing trend. Funds and individuals specifically seeking investments that generate positive social or environmental impact alongside financial returns. The RISE Fund, backed by TPG, is a large example. And don't forget government and institutional support. Many governments offer grants, R&D tax credits, and programs to foster innovation, especially in strategic sectors like clean tech or biotech. Singapore's Startup SG initiative is quite comprehensive.
How is traditional venture capital changing in response?
VC itself is evolving significantly. It's becoming much more globalized. Capital is flowing more readily to emerging hubs in Europe, Asia, Latin America, Africa, and Dela in Nigeria attracting major U.S. VC funding is a key example. There's also a trend towards sector specialization. VCs are developing deep expertise in specific areas like fintech, SaaS, deep tech, or climate tech, allowing them to offer more value than just money. Breakthrough Energy Ventures, focused on clean energy, is a good case. And thankfully, there's an increasing, though still insufficient, focus on diversity and inclusion within VC, with initiatives like All Raise working to get more funding to female founders and diverse teams.
So for an entrepreneur navigating this landscape, how do they approach finding the right funding?
It's definitely both an art and a science. First, you need to understand the funding stages seed for validating the idea and building an MVP. Series A for scaling operations and building the team. Series B and beyond for market expansion. Your needs change at each stage. You absolutely must craft a compelling pitch. This needs to clearly articulate the problem, your unique and scalable solution, the market size, your business model, financial projections, your team, and any traction you already have. It needs to tell a story.
It's not just the pitch deck, though, right?
Not at all. Building investor relationships is key. It's often about trust and rapport, not just numbers. Networking, getting warm introductions, being transparent and responsive, it all matters. You must demonstrate scalability. Investors, especially VCs, need to see how your solution can address a large, growing market and grow rapidly and sustainably. And critically, align with the right investors. Don't just take money from anyone. Seek investors whose values align with yours, who understand your industry, who offer relevant expertise and networks, and who share your long-term vision. They become partners.
What are the persistent challenges in this evolving funding world?
Despite progress, challenges remain. Geographic disparities still exist. Silicon Valley still dominates global VC funding, although less than it used to. Biases in funding are still a major issue. Startups founded by women and underrepresented minorities continue to receive disproportionately less funding. Data from 2020 showed only 2.3% of U.S. VC funding went to female-founded startups. That's still shockingly low.
Wow.
Yeah. Economic uncertainty can also impact capital availability across the board, and founders always face the balancing act of dilution, giving up equity for funding versus maintaining control.
What does the future of capital look like?
We'll likely see more decentralized and tokenized funding models gain traction. More blended finance, combining grants, impact investments, and traditional capital. AI will likely play a bigger role in analyzing deals and managing portfolios. Sustainability, ESG, will become an even more central criterion for most investors. And we'll continue to see the rise of more localized capital hubs globally. The key takeaway is that capital is the engine, but the landscape is more diverse than ever. The opportunities for innovation are immense, and navigating this evolving capital ecosystem strategically is crucial for bringing those big visions to life.
So looking ahead, weaving all these threads together, what does this all mean for the future? For those of us listening who want to make a truly significant mark, what will the landscape look like?
The future role of the tech entrepreneur is expanding dramatically. It's moving far beyond just building apps or making incremental improvements. They are becoming, as the source suggests, true architects of systemic change.
Architects of change. How so?
Their roles are broadening. They are increasingly focused on driving systemic change, tackling those fundamental societal issues we discussed, climate, health, education, with scalable technology-driven solutions. Think Impossible Foods, aiming to transform the entire food system. They are redefining industries entirely. Technologies like AI, blockchain, biotech allow entrepreneurs to fundamentally disrupt and reshape traditional sectors from the ground up. SpaceX isn't just launching satellites, it's redefining aerospace access. There's a growing emphasis on fostering inclusivity and equity, using technology to bridge gaps and create opportunities, like Andela training tech talent across Africa. And they are inherently collaborating across borders, building global teams, partnerships, and customer bases from day one.
What are the key emerging trends that will shape this future? What should entrepreneurs be watching?
Several key trends stand out. First, the convergence of technologies remains the biggest driver. The really groundbreaking opportunities will continue to emerge from the intersection of AI, biotech, nanotech, blockchain, quantum computing, etc. DeepMind's AlphaFold accelerating drug discovery is a prime example of this power. Second, decentralized systems and Web3 will continue to evolve, shifting power away from centralized platforms. This impacts everything from finance, DeFi to social media to governance, enabling new community-owned business models and DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. Ethereum is the foundational layer for much of this.
Sustainability seems huge, too.
Absolutely. The rise of sustainability as a core principle, not an afterthought. Solutions promoting renewable energy, circular economies, carbon removal, sustainable agriculture, these will likely dominate investment and consumer demand. Companies like Climeworks tackling carbon capture are at the forefront. Fourth, hyper-personalization driven by AI and data will become even more sophisticated, creating highly tailored experiences, products, and services across all sectors, from healthcare to entertainment to education. Think Spotify or Netflix recommendations on steroids. And fifth, the tension and synergy between global collaboration and localization. Entrepreneurs will need to master building globally distributed teams and reaching global markets while simultaneously tailoring their offerings to specific local cultures and needs. Grab's super app strategy in diverse Southeast Asian markets is a model here.
So, where are the major opportunities ahead, and what are the biggest challenges entrepreneurs will face?
The opportunities are vast and incredibly impactful. Health and longevity. Huge breakthroughs driven by biotech, genomics, AI, personalized medicine, tackling aging, genetic disorders, CRISPR, mental health. Education and workforce development, revolutionizing access and effectiveness through online learning, VR training, AI tutors, personalized skill development. Khan Academy is just the beginning. Energy and climate solutions, massive opportunities in renewable energy generation, storage, grid modernization, carbon capture, sustainable materials, climate adaptation tech. Tesla's broader energy vision fits here. Space exploration and infrastructure. The commercialization of space is opening new frontiers for communication, Starlink, observation, manufacturing, resource utilization. Think Blue Origin, SpaceX, and many smaller players. Financial inclusion. Using fintech, blockchain, and mobile tech to provide accessible financial services, banking, credit, insurance to billions currently underserved. M-Pesa in Africa was a pioneer.
And the challenges, still significant.
Yes, the challenges remain formidable. Regulatory complexity as tech outpaces laws. deep ethical dilemmas around AI bias, data privacy, genetic engineering, potential resource scarcity for key minerals needed for batteries or electronics, intense global competition, and the constant challenge of truly balancing profit with purpose.
So what strategies will be key for thriving in this future?
Entrepreneurs need to embrace lifelong learning, constantly adapting, learning new domains. Elon Musk's ventures span multiple complex industries. That requires continuous learning. Focus on collaboration and ecosystem building. Very few will succeed alone. Leverage partnerships, open innovation, community building. Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, shows the power of global collaboration. Leverage data and AI strategically across the entire business, not just in the product. Prioritize scalability from the design phase. How can this reach millions or billions? Amazon Web Services providing scalable infrastructure as a key enabler. And integrate sustainability and ethics from day one. It's not just good practice. It's increasingly essential for attracting talent, capital, and customers. Visionary entrepreneurs behind companies like SpaceX, Beyond Meat, Stripe, Coursera, Tesla are already navigating this landscape, showing what's possible. For you listening, the future is about being human-centric, purpose-driven, globally minded, and technologically adept. It's about creating a legacy of positive impact that truly transcends just business success. It's about building the future we want to live in.
Wow. What an incredible deep dive that was. We've really covered a lot of ground. From the foundational lessons of the internet's early days through this powerful idea of convergence shaping today's tech, exploring that bold mindset needed, breaking down the truly global nature of entrepreneurship now, and even looking into this potential age of abundance and how capital itself is changing, it's crystal clear that the role of the entrepreneur has never been more vital, or frankly, more exciting.
Indeed. And it really brings up an important question for everyone listening, I think. As you reflect on all these insights, maybe consider not just what problems you want to solve, but who you want to become in the process of solving them. Do you want to be an architect of a more equitable world, a more sustainable one, a more innovative future? The call to boldness, as the source puts it, is clear, but demands creativity, yes, but also responsibility and just unwavering perseverance.
Absolutely. The future really does belong to those who dare to dream big, but also, crucially, act now and understand that power of collaboration to tackle these complex global challenges we face. This isn't just about building successful businesses anymore, is it? It's about shaping the world that you and future generations will actually live in. So the question we leave you with is, what transformative idea will you bring to life? What big, bad problem will you courageously tackle? The world is waiting for your next bold move.